Ready, set, go.
Welcome to part 2 of 2020.
It's been a while.
It's been a hot minute. As a quick recap, 9 and 10 reawoke in the first episode to find out that Juice has been a little busy designing their own football game. A football game that involves every single college football team in the United States, in the continental US, and each of the respective teams' football fields starts from their city's field and then just stretches as far as it can like to the ends of
the borders of the United States of America.
Yeah. Until it either hits Canada or hits the coast in a straight line.
Weirdly enough, I follow this football game more than I followed the football games in the first one.
Yeah, that's fair. It is going to get a little, I think because they're focusing on one game, it's going to get a little bit more technical.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I am going to try and see if we can read over the videos as they happen.
It'll be an attempt.
You might need to pause, but I think it's doable.
Yes.
It's fair.
And with that all said, without further ado, let us begin the second episode of Jon Bois's and sbnation's 2020.
I was annoyed with you. I wouldn't say I was mad, just annoyed. You know how much I love football and how much I love invention? I can appreciate the occasional chaotic element, but any game of considerable size, and especially this size, has to be smartly built. You have to think of the audience, and especially the players.
Well, nobody's making a play this. They like what they like.
I know. Listen, I'm not taking that away from them. And it's clear how much this means to you. I felt bad about reacting the way I did. So I figured I'd take the rest of the night off, look at the stars for a while, watch the sunrise. Problem was, I'd only come out of hibernation for a few hours, and my quantum channel hadn't fully come back online yet, so this morning I just watched it out from here.
From out there, you're still cruising at 7 miles a second, right?
7.6 miles per second, yes.
You've been out here for like 18,000 years, so that puts you about 4 trillion miles from the sun.
4,399,696,5,807 miles. Now it's 4,399,696,5,849. Now.
Oh, quit it! I hate it when you do that.
I know you do.
Remember when you did that for a month straight? That would have been the 94th century, I think.
March 9303. You want to see the sunrise I saw this morning?
Fuck! Being you sucks.
Well, this is the price for being 4.4 trillion miles away from your stupid ass. Fair deal, if you ask me.
That's no way of talking to the buddy who was nice enough to record the sunrise for you this morning.
You didn't.
I did. I figured you wouldn't be fully online yet. Some of your favorite spot, too.
Oh my god. Husky Stadium. Look at that. This is my first real sunrise in 2,000 years. Thank you.
I hope you don't mind. I forgot to remove the field overlay.
No. It's okay. Look at... Wow. It goes across Union Bay, then up over the mountains? Did you give 9 the reorientation exam?
Yeah, they're taking it now. I mean, 9 clearly seem to have their bearings. I figured it was a good idea just to make sure. Looks like they're acing it so far. Test Section 4 Essay questions. All answers are required. In broad terms, please describe the period of human history between the years of 2026 and 20,020. All answers are required.
In 2026, for reasons that are still not understood, human beings stopped aging, stopped becoming ill, and stopped being born. Thereafter, advanced nanotechnology was developed that protected all human life on Earth from physical harm, effectively rendering humans immortal beings. This led to post-scarcity societies in which physical, political, and economic conflict effectively vanished. Human ambitions then shifted to territorial expansion and technological advances. In the former case, it quickly became apparent that extraterrestrial exploration was infeasible, light speed travel was impossible, and outer space offered little to nothing of interest to human beings. In the latter case, humans found that their present technologies were entirely sufficient. Further advances were seen at best unnecessary and at worst erosive of their cultures and lifestyles. Gradually, humans accepted a fate of eternal recreation and now identify as creatures of play whose entire purpose is to enjoy themselves, often via sports and games.
Thank you.
Okay.
Your answer is very much appreciated. Hope you are doing well.
Juice, did you write this test? I know this is you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hello again. This is the test speaking.
Fuck you, man.
Would you like to be friends with me? It is very lonely being a test. The essay question is the closest I ever get to having a conversation. Please don't go. Save me. I love you.
Ass, fuck ass.
Oh, what the fuck? I already wrote us a perfectly good exam. You just have to fuck around at every opportunity. Every single opportunity.
I'm happy to apologize every time I do something like this, but know that I don't plan to reflect on my actions or change my behavior in any way. I'm just going to say I'm sorry and keep doing the same shit. Cool.
No, not cool.
That wasn't a question. I was just remarking that's cool that I'm like this.
Alright, you owe me another pretty sight now.
Yeah, okay. We only have to leave the neighborhood. Here's a wazoo field running past Mount Rainier.
I can't deny that's a beautiful field. I would love to be able to look at this and like it. So, you know what? Sell me on this game. Take your best shot.
Okay. Well, it's been centuries trying to figure out how to talk to you about this, so pardon me if I'm a little nervous.
I'm not an intimidating person unless good taste intimidates you.
It does! That's the fucking problem here!
Ha!
Okay. When we drew our blueprints for the field, the rules we followed were extremely simple. The field is exactly 160 feet wide at all points. A field sits directly on top of a team's home field, and the field extends vertically in both directions till it meets either an international border or an ocean.
These are more or less the rules they followed when they developed game at 96249. Did that serve as inspiration?
No, that game was artless crap and its rules had nothing to say about anything. I loved it. So this, on the side of it, Satan himself leads in terror to be the comfort of his simple pentagram. College football is back, baby. Oh.
Jesus Christ. That is quite the
Oh.
field.
Oh. Hold. Whoa. Whoa.
This is what we saw in the intro video in the last episode.
Yeah, but oh.
Yeah.
We're reminded.
Anyway.
Oh. I'm just gonna scroll past that.
Yeah.
We built this horror not by breaking the rules, but by following them, simply following the lines they painted so faithfully. It's resulted in a field that stretches a combined 236,463,206 yards. That's longer than 130,000 miles. The amount of land it claims is more than double the size of Delaware. R.I.P. to Delaware, by the way. We don't say that enough.
I thought your pet theory was that Delaware never existed.
It was for a long time. Then after 17,000 years, I finally talked to someone who had actually been there. My new theory is that Maine never existed. Now, even for a glorified computer like me, it doesn't quite make sense to me that it claims 4,000 square miles. Look at these stringy little fellas. How could it possibly?
Virginia's field, right?
Yep.
And you said the field stops at the ocean. I'm guessing that doesn't include the underwater territories?
Right, yeah. So it stops right after it crosses into North Carolina, and of course, none of the underwater states are in play for any field. This leads me to the elements that led to the creation of this field. See, if people planned everything centrally and acted monolithically, you'd imagine all the fields would be laid out at the same angle, right? They'd probably all face perfectly north-south. None of the fields intersect with one another, and the game would be impossible to play. Thankfully, people built their stadiums at all kinds of angles for all kinds of different reasons. Those are my best of the silly reasons. The 6 guiding elements. These are the 6 conditions and behaviors that effectively built this field. 1, the sun. 2, the earth. 3, humankind's appreciation of beauty. 4, humankind's desire for order. 5, humankind's avarice. 6, humankind's humankind's disunity. First element, the sun. Now, the most common misconception about the sun is that it's a jolly goblin who helpfully pours raisins into your cereal. This is false.
Oh my goodness.
Cereal boxes are responsible for a host of misconceptions, but that one might be the most fundamentally wrong. The sun, in fact, influences the orientations of football stadiums more than any other factor. If you ignore the maps and fields and look only at the stadiums themselves, they all, at first, reveal confetti. But closer inspection reveals that almost all the fields either face some variant of north-south or northwest-northeast. These orientations are optimal if you want to keep the sun from getting in the player's eyes. In particular, northwest-southeast is most effective. Stanford Stadium is a brilliant example of this. If you're a Stanford receiver running a corner fade route to the back of the end zone at 3 p.m. local time in mid-October, this is what you see. The sun is hanging out there above the press box, well out of your field of view. It won't get in your eyes. This is great because if the player drops the ball, they won't be able to blame the sun and they'll likely force blame on the quarterback. This creates internal strife, which is one of my favorite things about football. Second element, the climate. Here we see 2 stadiums, Syracuse's Carrier Dome and Georgia Southern's Paulson Stadium. Both these fields flaunt convention, lying east-west for a very important reason. They don't give a shit. Q's obviously doesn't care because they play in a dome, and when I can't confirm this, my guess is that Georgia Southern doesn't care because thanks to the intense humidity, they prefer to schedule night games anyway. Third element, humankind's appreciation of beauty. We actually already covered this. That beautiful sunrise we watched from Husky Stadium. It's been claimed that Washington laid it out damn near east-west as the result of an engineering study that determined it offered optimal sunlight conditions. But I choose to believe a different account, which claims it is laid like that because it looks pretty.
I think that's pretty obvious.
Fourth element, humankind's desire for order. Get a load of these nerds. Cardinal Stadium feels compelled to adhere to downtown Louisville's street grid. Even though it isn't perfectly north-south, it's order for order's sake. It's following the rule without understanding the intention of the rule, which they can't because there is no clear intention. I think the answer they give is, well, we want to situate it parallel to the street because it makes the parking lot easier to lay out. Okay, but you're boxed in by 3 roadways. They're going in all kinds of directions. Why that one? Seems like everyone has a different answer for Louisville street grid is slanted like this. I've looked at some old maps. As far as I can tell, this all started because in the 1700s, some ding-dong set up a farm by the river at this angle. What he was thinking, I have no idea. Maybe he surveyed poorly. Maybe he correctly concluded that it didn't fucking matter. But thanks to him, Louisville's field runs this little bitty island up in Michigan, which turned out to be a great spot to hide their footballs back when they had them anyway. They were actually a pretty strong contender at one time. They had 4 footballs back in the 1900s, of course. Of course, they went to shit after that. But fact remains, this field bore witness to a significant chapter in the history of the grandest football game ever played. And all thanks to that ancient doofus and his weird farm.
This is beginning to dawn on me. This game was unintentionally designed by countless numbers of people who had no idea what they were building. People who, like this farmer, have never even heard of American football because it didn't exist yet.
Yes. One player once said that they were playing on the field our mothers and fathers built for us, for better or worse, of course, which leads us to 5th element, humankind's avarice.
Okay, test over. I quit. What did I just walk into?
Oh, hey, Juice is giving a lecture.
Goodbye.
Wait. It's cool. It's actually oddly fascinating.
You too? You thought you hated this game.
Oh, I think I still do.
Hey, I think you served just in time. You might want to stick around for this part.
You know what? I think I've had enough out of you today.
Section 5, Observations. In this section, the test administrator will offer some interesting observations about the world. This section is about him, not you. Please answer with interest and enthusiasm. 1. In my view, basketballs should be filled with heavy whipping cream. Over the course of the game, all the dribbling may eventually whip the cream into butter. This will surely make the basketball more difficult to dribble. However, the winning team will be awarded a delicious basketball filled with butter. Pretty neat.
Exit program.
Listen, Nun, I am so sorry. I wrote that a few years after you went into hibernation. I was very, very bored, which is actually why I started working on designing this game shortly thereafter. Probably a good thing that I found a hobby.
Jay is explaining why college football fields were built at the angles they were. Sunlight, climate, beauty, adherence to street grids. Fifth is one in greed, right?
Yep.
Can I take a wild guess at where we're going with this one?
Shoot.
Georgia State.
Correct!
Okay, let me take this one. I think I've got it. 9. You were launched in 1968. What does your onboard data tell you about Atlanta sports?
Hold on. Onboard memory is really slow. All right. As of 1968, Atlanta Stadium was home to the Braves and the Falcons. I haven't had a chance to catch up on much since then.
A few years later, it was renamed Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. It was a big, strong stadium that was far more structurally sound than the Colosseum in Rome, which lasted as many centuries as the sports venue, which is perfectly fine. Then the Georgia Dome was built, and the Falcons moved out. And the Olympics came to town, necessitating another stadium. Those Olympics wrapped up, the Braves moved in 1997, and Atlanta Fulton County Stadium was bulldozed. Today, it's a parking lot with the original field painted over it. Fast forward to the 2010s, Georgia State has started a football program, and their team shares the Georgia Dome with the Falcons. Not a bad deal for the state, huh? The Georgia Dome is a great big dome stadium. At about 20 years old, it's one of the newest facilities in the art of college football. Yep, all in all, they made off pretty well. But then, behold, a giant butthole.
Excuse me?
Every single fucking time. I laugh every time. It's an asshole.
It's an asshole. It's a gigantic steel asshole. Anyone who says otherwise is delusional.
Man, what I wouldn't give. If I had an asshole like that, I would take shits that you would not believe. I would form nebulas.
What is that thing?
Sometimes I forgot how much you haven't caught up on. It's a delight. That is Mercedes-Benz Stadium, home of the Falcons. Everyday architects went to work, sat down, designed this thing, and thought, I'm not drawing a butthole. Taxpayers read the news and nodded. They are not funding a butthole. Construction workers labored for years, seething through gritted teeth. We are not building a butthole. And then one day, they realized they'd built a butthole.
You know what I always say? Buttholes are like assholes.
You guys are making this up. This is a stunt.
Hand to God, go look it up for yourself. The Georgia Dome, a building that, at age 25, was just barely older than the college football players who called it home, was demolished. There was nothing wrong with it. The Falcons just got tired of it. Meanwhile, Georgia State suddenly needs a new home, but they're in luck, because at the same time, the Braves do the same thing. From foreground to background. 1. The 20-year-old perfectly nice stadium the Braves didn't want anymore. 2. The remains of the other perfectly nice stadium the Braves left. 3. Butthole Colossus. 4. Circled, because you can barely see it from here, the new suburban stadium the Braves moved into.
Like a molting snake.
People were broken in those times in terms of purpose and community and everything else. They were fractured. A healthy society does not do this. And given eternity, they finally realized that. This is why almost nothing has changed. This is Exhibit A. Over the last 18,000 years, people have almost universally elected to preserve and rebuild what they have, including the massive sphincter, which stands to this day.
And now we arrive at the coda, because if you look at Turner Field again, you'll notice that it is now a football field. When the Braves moved out, Georgia State football moved right in, once again taking refuge in a home abandoned for no good reason. Now, I'm sure their general instinct would be to orient the field perfectly north-south. Why not, right? That's how its neighbor Georgia Tech is set up, but because they were delivered a hand-me-down baseball stadium, it didn't quite fit right. They had to skew it just a little bit, and this is why. And I think both y'all get a hoot out of this. The Georgia State field runs directly over the rings in Centennial Park, symbol of the Olympics, very thing that set all this shit in motion. Almost perfectly centered in the middle of the field, too. Unbelievable.
Oh my god. That's poetic. Well done. Bravo.
Thanks, but I didn't do it. It wasn't my idea. That's just the way the damn thing runs. This is art missing an artist. It is found poetry.
If it were written, it'd be beautifully written. But I'm looking at it right now. It's a straight line. You did not lie.
I don't have to. We never did. All right. There's one very important detail that I don't believe y'all are aware of yet. See, intersections are crucial. Suppose you're West Virginia, you receive reliable reports that Pitt has football, right? Here. You got players sitting here at home if you want. You can head south, out north on NCA&T's field, and meet them like that. Or you can head down a little further, take Liberty's field, and meet them in the other direction. Or, if you want to be sneaky and take your time, you can even head north on your own field, take Maryland Southeast, and charge down on them. You can take a practically endless number of routes depending on what suits you. The average team has a field that intersects dozens of times. Even the Syracuse field, one of the shortest in the game, meets with NCCU. Howard? Yeah. Howard and Buffalo. This brings us to Nick and Manny, who we last saw in Atlanta. They are far away from home. In fact, they play for San Diego State. Their home field sits here, along SDCCU Stadium, way back in the day. They're supposed to have a new stadium built for them, but plans fell through. They've stayed here ever since. Want to know how many intersections they have? 0. Field runs in the U.S.-Mexico border, just 5 miles away from Boise State's field. We surveyed it again and again and again, every time hoping we got the angle just a bit wrong. Nope.
Yeah.
You said that the players aren't allowed to leave the field. If that's true, how come Nick and Manny are all the way out there?
Well, we left a little something in the rulebook for them. Not exactly a cheat, more of a loophole. Everyone knows about it, but no one imagines it's possible to exploit right now. I'll fill you on how it works, but there are 2 things you need to know about this scheme. If Nick and Manny can actually pull it off, 1, it'll perhaps be the greatest moment in the history of college football. 2, it will fuck everything up. You got it. 9, you should know. Your sis is better at tracking than I ever was.
Doesn't look like it.
Shh. Just rusty is all. I just woke up.
Just turn on the state boundaries.
Fine. I don't need them, but fine.
Wow, I never really noticed it before, but Florida really looks like crap.
How so? What would you change about it? Woo, shit. Lady, you threw a dart. Fucking beautiful.
They haven't got far at all. Tough navigating the suburbs, I'm sure.
Especially carrying 9 footballs.
Oh, yeah, that explains the backpacks.
You know, when we were drawing up this game, we thought about making bags illegal. In the end, we decided to allow them. We kind of regretted that now. It'd be fun to see him bumble around Georgia with armloads of footballs. At one point, I also wanted to replace football with a glass of lemonade. Don't spill lemonade. Who doesn't enjoy a glass of delicious lemonade?
Do you even care about gameplay experience?
I think it's very, very obvious that I don't. Anyways, let's listen in.
On their private conversation, I wanted to say something earlier. I don't feel good about that.
Nah, it's fine. All the players agree to be mic'd up. Whenever this game actually ends, it's going to make for the best documentary series of all time. Besides, you know someone out there's probably listening on us. Guaranteed.
No, see, that's 3212 Forest Run. The Stucco House. That's 3214 Forest Run.
Wait, is this Forest Run Drive or Forest Run Trail?
Forest Run Drive.
Who named these goddamn streets? We gotta get out of this state. Okay, here we go. We're right here. Right about on the 53rd, 900th yard line? Oh, this snuck up on me. Safe house is only about 500 yards out from us, 600 yards out.
Feel like we should move. We're a little exposed here.
Should be okay. I don't see anyone out there, out and around right now. As long as we can make it past number 3 up there.
Think they're out gardening?
Nah, if I remember right, they grow a lot of squash mostly.
Which means what?
It's October. You think they're playing squash in Georgia in fucking October?
Why would I know that? Why would I know that?
Because you're playing in Georgia and you've been playing in Georgia for 30 years. And you have to know this kind of shit. I send you shit to read all the time and you never read it.
There they go again. I think we're done here.
Listen, I don't hit you over the head with all the shit I know. I know all about chess, but I don't spend all day going like, oh, Nick, what's a back rank, mate? What's a Ray-Tease, mate? What's a smothered, mate?
It's about to be you in a minute.
Tst.
They're wild, man. People just don't change. They don't ever change.
Page 31407?
Yeah, they're stuck in that condo for 30 years and don't have much else to do but scout the field.
This game sucks so fucking bad, man. Everything I've seen so far is in Tatum watching, waiting, marching, sitting around. Football was supposed to replace war, not emulate it.
I'd encourage you to give it a shot and watch more of it before you decide it sucks. Because while you will invariably conclude that it sucks, your reasons for thinking it sucks might very well change.
Fair. You were going to tell us about the loophole.
Yes, I think it's probably best to back way up here. A few years before this game kicked off in 17804, we issued bowl invites to all the teams, including one that still makes me laugh. Oh. Now, technically, it would have been possible for Hawaii to play. Motorized vehicles ain't kind of prohibited, but teams are allowed to use rowboats, canoes, etc. By the way, lots of fields go over lakes. Lake football is fucking awesome, and we'll get to that eventually. Anyways, members of the bowl committee loved my pitch for this game until they realized that including Hawaii would make this way more of a seafaring game than any of them wanted. And remember, the game doesn't end until one team has every single football. Since every team gets a football at the start, you can't really avoid the Hawaii problem. After a lot of haggling, they managed to effectively disqualify Hawaii by making all ocean territories out of bounds. Hawaii withdrew as a result. Being a thorough completionist, I was disappointed by this, but I respected their decision. However, in making the oceans out of bounds, they effectively kneecapped San Diego State. Originally, SDSU did have one intersection. This one was Stanford. But if you look off in the distance, you'll see that Stanford's field has to pass through the ocean to get here. Once ocean's taken out of play, poof, intersection removed, San Diego State had an orphan field. But unlike Hawaii, SDSU refused to withdraw. They lobbied for every rule they could think of. They wanted to redraw their field so it bent at an angle. Of course, I firmly opposed that because it would have compromised the comically literal spirit of the game. So then they wanted to open up Mexico so their field could go a little further south and make an intersection. But Mexico wanted no part of it. Then they tried to make air travel legal, which would have been cool, but was a particular variant of stupid that didn't interest me as much. They could push anything through, but the fact remained that they had a football and they weren't giving it up. We had to find a way to make SDSU somehow accessible without jeopardizing the spirit of the game, and that is why I came up with out of bounds time, or OBT. This is how out of bounds works. If you step out of the bounds, or you're shoved out of bounds, you have exactly 10 seconds to return to the field of play. If you do this, you're automatically and permanently ejected from the game. No exceptions. Now, since it was clear from the jump that this game was going to take centuries, you can imagine how much of a bummer this can be for players and fans. Because, I mean, in certain sports, it's actually real easy to fall off the field. Take, for example, the Fresno State 1,430,760-yard line north. Sucks ass. Sucks real bad. You're on such a slant that you could trip, fall down the mountain, and not make it back in time. What if you're a star running back and this happens to you? Man, imagine how much of a damn zealot you have to be to play this game for, I don't know, 1,000 years? You take one wobbly step and it's all gone. Your whole life, whole identity, gone. To help mitigate the odds of this happening, introduce out-of-bound times. OBT is simple. For every year you spend on the field, you're granted 1 extra second off it.
1 second per year. So 1 second per 31,536,000 seconds?
Yeah, I know it doesn't sound like much, but if you played 1,000 years, shit, do the math. You got almost 17 minutes OBT saved up. More than enough time to make your way back in most cases. This goes a long way towards keeping our best players in the game.
And there's the loophole.
You got it.
Damn, that was good.
Hey, when you're camping, you're allowed to cook eggs in the bacon grease. That's the rules. Sorry they came out all fucked up looking, though. Cast iron skillets aren't good for eggs.
I don't care what they look like, really. Give me your plate.
Oh, thanks. Whoa, hey, what are you doing?
What?
You're not supposed to use soap on a cast iron skillet.
What?
I would never say this in real life. I would never say this.
This makes me mad.
You
this
can
makes
use
me
soap.
mad.
Here's the thing, Bonk. You can use soap on a cast iron skillet, but it has to be perfectly seasoned and very little. But this is definitely incorrect.
You don't use soap.
You can if it's properly seasoned, but generally you shouldn't use soap.
What do you mean proper? Like you have to season the soap?
No, you have to season the cast iron skillet. Cast iron skillet needs to be seasoned properly with long-term use. You don't actually wash cast iron skillet. What you do is you pour coarse salt into it, and you add a little bit of water, and you just wipe it around and scrub off all the gunk, and then you give it a rinse. And then you pop it on the stove or in the oven, you heat it up, dry it real quick, and then you give it a little bit of like oil, whatever neutral oil you so choose. Olive oil is generally what's used. Give it a quick wipe down, top, bottom, handle, the entire thing. Pop it back in the oven and just let it sit in the warm oven, and it will kind of create a non-stick coating on the cast iron. And the longer you do it, the more you do it, the more that non-stick is created. You could cook fried eggs on a non-skillet better than any non-stick pan than I've ever used sometimes. Like, if it's done correctly, it's fucking beautiful.
Nice. I'm keeping this in specifically for that useful information.
There you
Carry
go. I would never say this, but I'm going to say it for this character. It doesn't matter.
It does.
No, it doesn't. You know my whole thing on this.
What's that?
Every few years, some article comes out and says, listen, folks, I see you out here washing your cast iron skillets with soap. No, just no. Then someone else will write something that's like, yes, you can. Then someone's like, we performed an experiment to see who's right once and for all. But you don't remember what they found out. Nobody knows who's right, and people just internalize the last thing they read and forgot about the whole thing. Then a few years later, this happens all over again. This has happened for 18,000 years.
I already hate this person.
No, just no is such a good one.
I might start saying that again, just to say it.
Just to annoy me.
Either that or I can't even. What the hell? That brings back the 19400s.
Let's check out one of the balls.
I don't know. We should probably just put this fire out soon.
Come on, the backfield's empty. No one's coming back this way. We said one. We said every night we could check out one of them.
All right. Yeah. Want to pick one?
I don't know. Just reach in the bag and take one.
I can't believe you got 9 of them.
It feels so fucking weird, man. This is like, I mean, how many times has a ball carrier carried this many? Has it ever happened?
I wouldn't be surprised if it never happened.
And even if it did, it was probably some big 50-person unit or something. We're just 2 dudes. I mean, what do we do if we run into a defense and we have to line up at scrimmage? What the fuck does that like? What kind of fucking play did we run?
There's a reason we don't have to play for that, right? It's impossible.
We are fast, though. Don't know if anyone's got more speed than us.
Here, let me just... I'm gonna draw it up. This'll be funny.
Oh, God.
How many defenders are we running into?
I mean, once word gets out these balls are missing, everybody's gonna send everybody after us. Let's say 100?
I'm not gonna draw 100.
50 then.
Yeah. Well,
fuck.
this is enough for 14 on the line, 26 in the secondary, 7 way back in a sort of prevent defense, and then just for the hell of it, if I were them, I'd put 3 more a few hundred yards back, just for safety. Have them hide in the trees or something and ambush us.
Well, we got just enough people to snap a football.
All 9, though? They'd have to snap all 9, so that means no shotgun.
Ah, Jesus. We did not plan for 9 all those years. I mean, I remember a couple times, I remember I said to you, what if there's 2 or 3?
I don't believe they'd be that stupid.
They just, it's like we said, they got sloppy. They thought there was no way a player could make it into Atlanta without getting made. Then what probably happened is they found out about another ball out there and just sent the whole house after them.
Well, hope they get that one. Pretty soon they'll be missing every one of these.
Come on, let's see one.
All right, let me see if I can figure out how to work this. Where's my phone?
You want me to call it?
Nah, it's right here.
I think after you open the app, you just have to give it a minute to pair. But it's got to be like right next to the ball. You got to hold it right up to it.
All right. Okay.
What's it say?
ND. This is the Notre Dame football.
Oh, damn.
They're one of the goose eggs, right?
Let me pull up the scoreboard real fast. ND. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're way down there below us. They're at 0.
I feel like they fell to 0 real fast, too. Like, first 100 years of the game.
I think so. They lost this ball early and never got it back. I've never once seen them move up the rankings. Notre Dame used to be good, too. I'm talking like way back, like the 1900s.
No shit.
Oh, yeah, they won lots of titles in old football. I think, anyway.
I never watched football back then.
I only really know about them because for some reason they'd be on national TV. Like I'd turn on the game one afternoon and they were playing, even in a year when they weren't even good. And I'm like, I'm in California. Who the fuck is Notre Dame?
You know what I bet I can do? Look at this. You can hit the history tab and see where it's been. Oh shit, look!
Whoa.
The lines show everywhere this ball has been. And the dots, I think the dots show every time it was hidden. Or at least every time it stayed in the same place for a while.
Yeah, it's just like you said. It started at Notre Dame, but it only stayed up there for 76 years. And then stopped number 2's in Louisville. I guess Louisville went and took it?
Must have, yeah. They took it back to Cardinal Stadium, kept it there for like 400 years. Then either someone bum rushed their stadium and got a turnover, or Louisville decided to try to hide it somewhere else.
We get number 3 there, somewhere in southern Illinois. That's not anywhere near a stadium.
That would have been in, let me do the math. Game started in 1784 plus 76 years plus 4 years. I guess it got to 0.3 in the late 183rd century.
Someone just let it sit there for 17 years.
Teams were experimenting with that back then. Just hide it in the trees in the middle of nowhere. Way less secure than stashing it in your stadium, obviously. But at least you don't have a target on your back.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Same time, though, that's how old football was, too. When it was first invented, teams would punt on, like, second down. They cared about field position more than the ball.
No shit.
You know that shit is still on the books? If we wanted to, next time we run into a teammate and have to play from scrimmage, we could just punt.
What would that do?
Oh, jack shit. Absolutely nothing. I guess they just wanted to stay as true to old football as they could.
Huh. Meanwhile, we're eating dinner at the 70,000 yard line. That's funny, man. The highway's like, what, 100 yards away or something?
About.
I see these cars go by, and you gotta figure, just playing the numbers, that every third person who goes by is a big football fan, if not more, right? Probably more. And they got no idea that the biggest thing in football is happening right fucking here. They're driving right past it. When I was a little kid, my family just had one car. My mom had to drive my dad to work, drive him back home. Then later she'd have to go get him again. And this job was like an hour away. And me and my sister were too little to stay at home by ourselves. So we'd have to come along in the car every time. I'd bring along books and stuff, but I'd get car sick looking at them. And a lot of times I couldn't sleep, so just look out the window. When you're on the interstate, there's nothing to look at but trees, really. I'd try to count the trees, but there are just too many, and they go by way too fast. Way too many. So then I'd just wonder what those trees were all about. Were they always there? Did somebody have to go plant them all? I mean, I was a little kid, so I didn't know this stuff. Was it somebody's job to go plant those trees? How far back did they go? What was behind them? Did anyone live back there in the log cabin? What was going on? Then you get a little older and you just keep your eyes on the road. You got more important things to do and you don't care anymore. You know, it's just trees. But now, here we are.
Here's a very brief history of Nick and Manny. New Year's Day, 17804, first day of the new college football. It's all anyone America's talking about. Teams all over the country are busting out of the stadium gate for designs on building their football empires. But now San Diego State, the orphan mockery of a football team. Distance between SDSU's southeastern terminus and Boise State's southern terminus is 4.88 miles, 8,581 yards, so nearly 86 football fields. Even for human beings, this was too much of a waste of time. Most SDSU players didn't even show up. Some signed up and quit just so they could say they were football players once. But not Nick and Manny. For 1,500 years, they dutifully stayed on the field, endlessly cross-training through the mountains and improving their 5-mile run time. Then one day in the year 19304, with 25 minutes saved up apiece, they went for broke. Their pace was unlike anything the sport had ever seen. They both maintained a 3.353 mile pace.
3 minute 53 second per mile.
Yeah, 353 mile pace for nearly 5 miles. They made it in 1857. Nick and Manny spent the following century roaming other fields, scouting, spying, gaining intel, looking for a big score, all the while saving up more OBT. No one bothered them much because they were SDSU players. No one accounted for them. No one even recognized them. Lord, this is a long thing.
Oh yeah, it's keeping on going.
Just keep on going. This is what they traveled? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's so absurd, and we're really glad that humans are immortal at this point.
Lord.
Mortal and
That's the
indestructible.
entire reason of setting it up this way, is just to waste a couple centuries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They they knew Georgia Tech had some footballs. They wanted that condo as a lookout post. But think about it. Atlanta's a city full of football fans. Nobody's going to sell a condo on the field that close to a stadium, someone who might be an opposing player. They had to build a history. First, they lived in Canton, then Woodstock, then Roswell, then Duluth, then Fayetteville, all throughout the area. Soon they had hundreds of years of Redskins history establishing that they were just ordinary Georgia folk. Then they finally settled down and bought that condo. It was a big moment of a young couple's life.
They're like 18,000 years old.
Yeah, 18,000 of how many? Trillion, million, billion, 100 times infinity? We're all babies. Anyways, they were planning on staying in the condo for a very long time. When they saw it drop the other day and realized they couldn't pass it up. Now this is where they stand. Nick and Manny both have 1,079 seconds of OBT. 17 minutes, 59 seconds. In order to make the return trip across the desert, they're going to have to shave about a minute off their previous time. Enough to do it while carrying 9 footballs.
You
9.
think they can do it?
Provided they can even get across the country with those footballs in the first place. I'll be honest with you. I don't.
Thank you for calling Pizza Barn, one of our many pizza establishments. Thank you for your patience. We are currently experiencing longer than usual wait times.
Tucker, I'm on hold. The wait times are longer than
I don't give a shit. It's been 45 minutes. I'm not paying for no fucking pizza, dude. Tell them it's gotta be free.
it's all already free.
I don't give a shit.
Okay, so here we got Tucker and Tanner. Tucker is Georgia's quarterback. He's the rude idiot. Tanner is the center. He's a nice idiot.
Got it. Tucker and Tanner. Jesus, I love the SCEC.
Looking for a tasty weeknight meal for the whole family? Sounds delicious. We hope you find one somewhere. You are currently on hold with Pizza Barn.
This guy's been on hold for almost an hour. They've had 18,000 years to make the world better, and they can't even improve hold times. Or won't.
Yeah, it's a won't scenario. One of many.
I've asked it before, and I've asked it again. Why not? Why does their ideal existence involve sitting on hold with Pizza Barn?
The ideal world for an imperfect being is an imperfect world, which is something they've accepted a long time ago. Someone down there put it very well once. He talked about how he liked to sit on the bench at the park and feed the ducks. He didn't try to get better at feeding the ducks. He didn't try feeding more ducks. He wasn't trying to optimize the nutritional quality of the bread. He wasn't trying to get it over with. He realized that ultimately he wasn't even sure if he experienced any benefit from it. He couldn't explain it to anyone why he went to the park and fed the ducks, least of all himself. He was feeding the ducks because he was feeding the ducks because he was feeding the ducks.
Why?
Because he was feeding the ducks.
Why?
Because he was feeding the ducks.
Why?
Because, hey, fuck off. No lowercasing. Not you too.
I'll do what I feel like.
Juice can do it because he's European. You and I are NASA, born and bred. We have standards.
Oh, wow. Standards. Sounds like fun. Let me try. Hello, everyone. I am very important. I am here to LOL. Fuck, never mind. Too much work.
You do it sometimes, though. I've noticed. Some proper nouns you capitalize, others you don't.
I have no style guide. You got style like this. You don't got it. You just blow it out your ass like yesterday's yogurt. Besides, none of that matters or ever did. Oh. Hello, Pizza Barn. This is Tanner. Thanks for holding.
Like, this is Tanner. What did you say your name was?
Tanner.
Ha, that's my name's Tanner too.
I'm bored. I'm gonna place you back on hold. Are you a big fan of pizza, but you've never eaten it before? Today's your lucky day. You're on hold at Pizza Barn, a pizza restaurant.
What do you say?
He said he was gonna put me on hold.
Again?
Well, he said his name was Tanner, and I told him that was funny because Tanner's my name too. And then he said I was boring, so he put me on hold some more.
Give me the fucking phone. Give me the phone. I need a representative. 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 Representative.
I don't think that
Representative.
works with recorded
Representative.
message. It's only the automated
Representative.
robot computer thing it works with.
God, you beautiful idiot. Tucker's such an absolute fucking dolt. He's one of my favorite players in the country. What other quarterback going to stand in the pocket and order a pizza, I ask you?
Well, I mean, there's no pocket.
Have you looked?
No.
Well, then look.
He's in the middle of a play.
Yep.
He's a quarterback trying to order a pizza to the backfield in the middle of a play.
Yep.
Why?
Well, you'd imagine he's hungry, wouldn't you?
Up until now, this game has basically looked like a giant scavenger hunt. Now it looks like actual football all of a sudden. What is going on here? Can I read the rules of this game somewhere?
Yeah, I'll drop him in. Let me find it. Here you go.
Did you write this
That is a
rulebook?
clickable link. Dang.
Oh my god, is it?
Wait, it's...
Yeah, I'm not gonna click it though.
It's 7 pages long.
God.
Holy shit, it's actually rules.
It is
I love it.
7
Hilarious.
solid pages.
That's amazing. 7 pages. That's actually shorter than I expected.
Yeah. Did you write this rulebook?
Yeah, but it received a pretty serious edit. Wasn't able to fully express myself in the final print. Had to capitalize. Tree ties on microwavable snacks was cut entirely. Wasn't allowed to start every paragraph with "See, okay, the whole deal with this thing is." Hated the entire process. No one should ever edit anything. Just write shit. Who cares?
All right, this answers one of my questions.
Standard players and defensive players. There are 2 classes of players. Each team is allowed 100 standard players, who are free to roam on any field they choose. The remaining 25 players are defensive players, who must remain on their home field and are not allowed to set foot on any other field at any point. Teams are permitted to reassign players from standard to defensive and vice versa every New Year's Day.
125 players times 111 teams means this is a football game with 13,875 players, and most of them can go anywhere on any field they want.
Most, yeah. We set aside some players as purely defensive. The intent there was to add significance to a team's home field. Every player could go anywhere. It doesn't really feel like a team has ownership of its own field. It's just another field. This way, a team has 25 players dedicated to defending their own turf. Keep all your players on your home field. You have theoretical ability to stack this 125-player absolute Goliath of a squad.
Phew, that's smart. What a thoughtful game design. See?
Thank you.
You're showing growth. You know you drive me crazy, but you're showing growth.
Thank you.
Here it is. This is what I was looking for.
A team enters scrimmage play if a team encounters, identifies, and issues a verbal challenge to an opposing team in possession of a football.
So there's free play and there's scrimmage play. Free play is what we've been seeing with Nick and Manny, who are just sneaking around wherever. Scrimmage play is normal football, which we get whenever 2 teams run into each other.
Mostly right, yeah. I mean, if 2 teams run into each other, but neither team has a ball, there's no line of scrimmage because there's no ball, there's nothing to fight. Nothing to fight over. So they usually just wave hello and go on their way. Of course, once in a while, they just put up their fists and beat the fuck out of each other, sometimes for no real reason other than they don't like each other. That's always fun. Now, if you look back at the field, I can show you what's going on here. Oh, that's a lot.
Representative.
This guy's a dumbass.
Yeah, he rules.
Representative.
Hello, thank
Representative.
Thank you.
Representative.
Thank you for holding.
Representative.
Excuse me, sir.
Representative.
Sir.
Representative.
Sir, this is a real person. You're not on hold.
What? Who are you?
That was just a recording. It wouldn't be able to detect your...
Y'all were supposed to have my pizzas delivered here an hour ago, and I've been hungry, and it's been an hour, and y'all were supposed to deliver my pizza an hour ago.
I'm sorry, sir. What was the delivery address?
I don't got no delivery address. It's like I told y'all people, we're on the Georgia field. I'm on Georgia's football team. We're right up here off Ball Ground Highway.
I don't really like football.
You don't like football? I'll whoop your ass. I'll fucking whoop your ass.
Whoop his ass!
Over the phone?
Unsure. Haven't thought it through. You can't kick my ass, sir. It's against policy. Listen, a delivery driver's on the way. Unfortunately, you're as boring as the last guy who was on the phone. So I'm going to hang up now. Thank you for calling Pizza Barn.
God damn it.
Anyways. Man, I love saying anyways. I feel like I say it all the time. Anyways. Suppose you're Georgia. You got 2 footballs to your name. The area's getting a little hot. Lots of other teams around. You're trying to keep them off your field. Maybe it's because you're trying to protect your footballs. Maybe it's because you made an agreement with another team. Like, hey, we heard Vanderbilt's gunning for you, but they're not going to use our field to get there.
You can form alliances with other teams?
Yep.
That's interesting.
Yep. However, in the terms of any sort of alliance aren't enforced by game officials such as myself. They can backstab you anytime. It's completely illegal to do so. Of course, do that, and your reputation goes to shit. You'll never be able to call in favors with anybody. For now, Georgia's keeping opponents off their field as a favor to Georgia Southern, who feel like they got a target on their backs right now. The idea here being that they can ask Georgia Southern for a favor of some kind later. And that's what's up here. Georgia actually marched up their field to this intersection here to block everyone's way.
Oh, and that's why they brought a football with them. If Georgia just stationed a bunch of defenders up here, they couldn't really stop anyone from moving through. They need to be able to set up a line or scrimmage so that they can force someone to actually beat them in 4-down football. For that, they needed a ball.
That's exactly it.
Hey, is that him? Is that the pizza guy?
Where?
There, he's gonna drive by.
Oh, shit. Hey, stop. Hey, flag him down. Get the fuck out of my way. Hey.
Wow, outstanding pocket mobility on display here.
The defense really doesn't seem to give a shit, do they?
Not really. Actually, that's a Georgia Tech defense. They locked horns with this Georgia offense around a month ago.
What down is it?
Oh, it's first down. First play of the drive.
This play has been going on for a month.
Yeah, about a couple of things make this possible. First, they strategically set it up so that the line of scrimmage falls right along the highway. Classic pain-in-the-ass move. Real tough to put the team through traffic.
The nanotechnology would keep them out of danger, though.
Well, yeah, but it still hurts. Even if you're guaranteed that you won't be injured, you still wouldn't want to get hit by a truck, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely still an issue. Human beings don't like getting hit by stuff, no matter how immortal they are. It's a big deal in some of the fields up north. There's bison up there and they'll charge you as soon as they look at you. Bad news. So the second and more obvious reason that Georgia Tech is comically outnumbered, 38 players to 5.
Why does Tech even bother?
Probably just to see if they can catch them napping at any point. Even if you have a huge personnel advantage, securing the ball for a month straight might be harder than you think.
You want me to take the ball, boss?
No, I got it.
What kind of pizza you get?
I don't know.
You know, there was a thing I was reading on the internet. It was like a list of best, of like the people's favorite pizza toppings, like a ranking of the pizza toppings. And I remember it talked about pineapples on pizza. I don't remember what it said, but rank it, or what rank it had. But it was like a list of pizza toppings, and
Fuck off. I'm trying to eat.
I just assumed he was ordering pizza for everyone. Look at him. He just ordered one pizza and he's going to eat it all by himself.
This reminds me of Don Morocco.
Who?
Don Morocco, the magnificent Morocco. He wrestled in the WWF for a while in the 1980s. One time he was up against some jobber and he ate a meatball sub during the match. He beat him easily, too. When he pinned him for the 3 count, he was still chewing on a sandwich. You guys didn't know about this?
No, which I deeply regret. How did you find that?
I don't know, I just like to dig through stuff. Both of you have been out of hibernation way longer than I have. How is this news to you and not me?
Nye, I think you have a found talent. Oh god, look, he's getting pizza sauce all over the football.
Absolute slob. Horrendous leadership once the game is 1,000 years old. You start to see people like this. Players leave the game, and some of the ones who take their place aren't exactly world-class competitors. See, this right here is why Tech's bother and stick around. Georgia's got numbers, but they got zero discipline. Up there on the shoulder of the road, you got 11 players taking shifts as linemen and 7 more in the immediate backfield. But they're all pretty checked out at the moment. 19 more a little further back, just kind of sitting around.
That adds up to 37 players. You said they had 38 here.
Huh. Weird. Y'all check my math.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 37 for sure.
Same. What the hell? I mean, game data says there are definitely 38 players here. Whoops!
Okay.
Cut it off. I didn't see shit. I didn't see nothing. Y'all have fun.
In the middle of a play? That's bold.
This isn't the first time that's happened. I try to respect people's privacy, I really do, but goddamn. I mean, this is the culture of the program. A few hundred years ago, they shifted their approach. Less actually going for football, is more brokering strategic partnerships with other teams. They're playing the long game, but in the process, you got players that don't really truly get to play.
Looks like they might need a minute, though.
Hmm?
Oh, look, over the west.
Oh, hello, old friends.
Those are the Georgia Tech players we saw, the ones who left Tech campuses the other night. This is where they must be heading.
Yeah, they're laying low just behind the tree line there. Yeah, okay, I might see some shit any minute here. You're outnumbered 38-5. Your odds of prying the ball loose are pretty slim. Generally, if the numbers improve to 38-15, your odds are a little better, but not a lot. But if 10 of those are hidden players Georgia doesn't see coming, yeah, let's just go get grody.
I'd blitz right now if I were them.
I don't know. I think I'd let the quarterback eat more of his pizza first, make him run around with a full tummy.
I'm trying to game this out, and I think I've got it. Teams don't have any means of precisely looking up where their opponents are, but they do collect intelligence, right? And it's not unreasonable to assume that Georgia had Georgia Tech's players pretty well pegged. They knew that Tech had almost all of their players up north, with a few hanging back in Atlanta to defend. What they were wrong to assume is those players in Atlanta were defensive players. Therefore, they aren't allowed to leave their home field. Therefore, Georgia doesn't have to worry about them. But they're standard players, not defensive players. They can roam wherever, including right here. Big fake out by Tech.
That checks out.
Yeah, that's good. That's crafty.
Or at least it would be if Tech didn't abandon their footballs back in Atlanta. Does Tech know their footballs have been stolen yet?
Nope. And that's another thing I'll explain in a minute.
Oh, geez, lots of dominoes here. Georgia Southern asks Georgia to form a roadblock, which baits Georgia Tech into emptying out their backfield to try and make a play on the ball, which lets San Diego State clean them out.
It's very personally gratifying for me to see you coming around in this game.
No, I'm not coming around on anything. This is all stupid. It's just stupid in such a labyrinthian fashion that once in a while it'll produce something cool by accident.
Oh, Tech's moving. They're moving.
Uh-oh.
Fuck is going on up there? Oh, fuck. Block them.
Where'd they come from?
Shit, they're not gonna hold. Fuck. Hey, go long.
I'm a center. I'm the thing. Ineligible.
I don't fucking care. Run an out route and I'll hit you.
We're gonna get a penalty.
Go.
We're gonna have to throw a flag on this one.
They didn't have anything drawn up?
They did a month ago when the play started, but nobody's in position. The wideouts are supposed to run post routes in case of emergency, but they're hanging out in the parking lot. Tied in and the running back, we're supposed to run mesh, but we just caught him boning, etc. What we're seeing here is pure panic. Tucker's not in game shape at all, even in top 4 he's ever proven himself.
Oh, he's so fucked. Just get down, take the sack. What is he doing?
This is what we call Tucker time. He's gonna lose his shit and just airmail it. That's what he does. Bet he throws an INT here. Fucking bum.
Oh no, don't do it.
Throw it.
Don't throw it!
Chuck it, you loser. Destroy yourself. I love you.
Huh?
Hey, it's just the in the like it went in the truck and
I know. I saw it. I was here. I saw it.
I thought it wasn't legal to leave the field.
It's not.
Then how was the driver of the truck allowed to?
He's not.
he's not turning around.
Fuck! God damn it! Oh, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked.
I can run the plates? What do you do in this situation?
Fuck, man. Okay, this has happened before. The answer is we do nothing. He'll probably find the bed of his truck when he gets home, or in a couple days or something. At that point, hopefully, he gives it back.
Who?
Yeah, that's the big question, right? Maybe he's a big Georgia fan. He gives it back to him. Maybe he's a Nebraska transplant and a big Husker fan, and he decides to take a road trip to give it to them. Or maybe he thinks football is stupid and throws it in the garbage. Maybe this is a rental car, and one of the rental agents finds it and returns it next week.
You don't even want to reach out to him?
As a game official, that's not really my place. If you're watching a normal game of football and everyone thinks the ball is dead, but the ref doesn't blow the whistle, would you expect them to yell, "Hey, the ball's still alive"? Let's look at the big board. Georgia's lost his number 8 ranking. End of an era. Damn. Down on a 28 tie for 13th.
Oh, I think I get it. I was wondering why Georgia Tech still has a 9 on the board. Is that because Nick and Manny are still in the Georgia Tech field?
Yep, you got it. That's how possession is defined. It's not about who's actually holding the ball. It's about whose field is on at the moment. Which is great for Nick and Manny, who can go a pretty good distance without anyone even knowing the balls are gone. All the footballs have geolocation sensors on them, so all this is tracked automatically. Tell you what, our friend the pickup truck here is about to give us a useful little demonstration. Let's take a ride. Hopefully our guy's going to take us on the highway.
If he is, Route 515 is on the left in a minute. Be ready to turn.
There he goes.
Oh, there. Interesting way to see him turn there. Jay, you steering an oil tanker?
Whatever, fine, just take the wheel. You're better at this than me. Now we're about to drive to the Georgia Tech field for a sec. Watch what happens on the scoreboard. Whoop!
Man, he really has no idea he's got a football on the back.
Just so we're clear, the little blip on the scoreboard, that's all the teams saw that, right?
Georgia Tech did, yeah.
So just based on the timing of it, Tech can probably do some back-to-back napkin math and figure out this guy pulled onto the highway. But who knows if the information is even helpful? Probably not.
Now here's the important thing about the scoreboard. Here's the full admin version. The version you're looking at that displays all the data. Only game officials get to look at it. Teams and players will never see this. For example, Georgia Tech gets to look at this instead.
So you see the teams ranked by how many footballs your opponents have, but you don't actually see how many they have.
Yep, you see who's winning, but you don't know about how much.
It looks like we'll be passing through Georgia State Field shortly. Can we look at their scoreboard?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
This is not a lot of information to work with.
Then again, though, at least let's know when there's a ball on your field, and then you... Oh, fuck, sorry, I can't read that fast.
All good.
Then again, though, at least it lets you know that there's a ball on your field, and you wouldn't otherwise know about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. News you can use. News you can use, huh? I like that. You know, the first one to ever come up with that?
No, Wilkes-Barre Records, September 18th, 1930. It's news you can use. Now, shut up. I want to see this.
Excuse me. Jesus.
Well, that must have been fun for Georgia State. They jumped into the 8th ranked team in the nation for 3 seconds so far.
They waited centuries to get there, too. I haven't seen that ding on their scoreboard in ages.
What is Georgia State supposed to do with that?
I mean, jack shit, really. They only know the ball's on their field somewhere. They don't know where. The field goes from Florida to Michigan. Good luck with that.
This is such a confusing football game.
Why, thank you.
And that is going to be all we cover for today.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, that'll be all for tonight.
Hell yeah.
If you've been watching this live, which, to real quickly do my check, one person is watching live. Is it any of the people that are currently participating in the stream?
No.
I am not watching, though.
No. It's the guy
Chris.
who asked a question.
Hi.
Yeah, it's Chris.
It's me.
Oh, okay.
Fair enough.
Look, it helps. I'm giving you that
It
ad
does.
revenue, baby.
I'm not against it. I just was asking the question. In that case, if you are watching the VOD or the edited version,
Or if you're Chris.
thank you. Or if you're Chris, thank you for watching.
Hey, I'm
Yeah,
also
it
here.
feels so special.
Yeah, if you need a little, if this is your way of finding this channel, you're gonna want to first watch our series of covering 1770-76, because that lays down a lot of the sort of lore of the world that we're looking at here.
Yes.
And then watch the first episode of this series.
But do not mind the fact that my voice changed suddenly and very dramatically.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with the voice acting. It is definitely me and not Kim that took my space.
Yeah. It's a perfectly normal thing that sometimes happens.
You know, it's a second puberty for me, you know? My voice suddenly changes.
Chris, you go through puberty like once a month.
And with all that said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, maybe you want to click the like button. You can leave your thoughts in the comments. But yeah, if you have not subscribed, now's a good time to do that. You can also ring the bell. You can go and buy merch. You can go and donate to the Ko-Fi if you want. If you want to fund the channel, that'd be nuts.
That'd be pretty poggers.
That'd be pretty quirky, lol, so random of you.
Very cash money.
Absolutely.
Incredibly cash money.
It'd be really gamer of you.
I don't like
Heck
what we're doing
yeah.
right now. I really don't like what we're doing right now.
That's too bad. Thank you so much. We'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
20 more seconds.
I'm glad they like us, even though we're weird.
Oh my god. 20
Do they like
seconds.
us? They probably don't like us.
I'm pretty sure they like us because we're weird.
Yeah.
If they can't handle the weird, they don't get us.